now they gotta wait, or have one of their friends do something for them, or whatever. I don't know what their plans are. So.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, obviously I know nobody has a crystal ball, but let's just hypothetically say if this was fine and there was no opposition to the new gun bill, what do you think the next level would be that they would go for? Like, you know, do you think they'd just try to ban pistols outright, or?
No, I don't think they'll do that, although you never know. Okay, that's, you know, through what I'm sure that some of the people here have heard the phrase creeping incrementalism. You know, they may try to notch away here, notch away there. What some of the speculation is right now, the same cast of characters that passed the law PA 13-3 this year are going to be sitting there next year, and there were notably a number of legislators that said this law is good, but it doesn't go far enough. We want more, and they're already working on further encroachment of our rights. So I don't know what they'll do next. I know one thing that they've done this year was they've added 2 members to the Board of Firearms permit examiners, 2 key crucial members that have usually sided reasonably on the side of gun owners are now removed from the board. One is finishing up, he's going to be gone by November 1st. Another guy stepped down already. And so now they've got some new people coming onto the board, and they're governor's picks. So we're very concerned about the fact that somebody gets a denial, and even though what the statute says, if they go before the board, they may start more of a discretionary kind of whether or not we feel we want you to have a firearm or not. And who knows how far that will go.
Yeah, actually a follow-up to that, how, from members' general experiences in CCL, how has it been in terms of times to get a permit? You know, how has it been in terms of like denials? I mean, are things improving? Is there a backlog?
It's wavered. It all depends on what your local issuing authority is. For instance, if you live in Salem, Connecticut, and you live in Bridgeport, you know, the times are going to vary, and that holds true. Unfortunately, that holds true throughout the state, because the issuing authorities right now, you know, there's Connecticut statutes that say you need to either issue or deny by a certain time period, and they're like, well, we don't care. We're gonna, you know, we don't really like to issue gun permits, so we're gonna make you wait. We're gonna make you file an appeal. So some people have to wait up until the day before their appeal is heard, before the issuing authority says, well, I don't want to really send somebody out to Middletown to, you know, fight this. So, okay, now we'll issue. And then they literally do it just based on the fact that they can, because there's no teeth to these statutes right now to punish them for delaying. There's no fines. Some states have that. And in Connecticut right now, the climate, I hate to say it, right now the climate is not favorable for gun owners as it was 3 years ago. We were basically on the upswing. We had a bill that we supported that Rob Sampson introduced that essentially would have uniformed the process for issuance across the state. And it passed the House unanimously. And then it stalled in the Senate by our good pal Don Williams.
Yeah, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that basically, when you mean things aren't uniform, you like some towns will say, I want 2 letters of recommendation. Other towns will say, I want 3 letters of recommendation and a canned ham. You know,
you might as well.
You need a credit check and.
Yes, yeah. Some of the towns have gone so far as to saying, well, we want you to sign a waiver for us to be able to run a credit check on you. We want to be able to interview your neighbors. We want to be able to go to your job, talk to your spouse. All this for something that's already outlined in the state of Connecticut general statutes that is not necessary. We did several years ago. We did petition for a declaratory ruling on the process from the Board of Firearms permit examiners. They ruled and they reinforced what the statutes already said. The declaratory ruling said none of this stuff that you're doing is required, as long as they do everything according to what the pistol permit process is outlined in the state statutes. They are eligible for a pistol permit or denial if they're not a suitable candidate. So that was sent out, and it did have a major impact. A lot of those towns actually started from, so that was a success of the organization. since then, you know, some of those police chiefs may have been either replaced or this or that, or they you know, they conveniently forgot about the ruling, and now after the post Sandy Hook atmosphere, we're in a post Sandy Hook environment right now, where a lot of them are saying, well, we can do whatever we want because, you know, guns are bad. So some of them are going right back to where they were.
James, I noticed your son had a hand up. Was he just stretching, or did he have a question?
Ask me a question.
Question.
Where are you from, young man?
Connecticut.
Me too.
Bloomfield.
Bloomfield? Thank you for coming tonight. Do you have any questions?
If you want.
Sure.
I brought both of these two guys to the DEF CON hacking conference during the
That's
summer.
what we should.
Fourth Amendment shirts, that's where they got them from. Does CCDL have any opinion on making the plastic guns 3D printing, anything like that?
As to whether or not we think that people should be allowed to do that, or legal, or?
Yeah, there's just new things coming out about, you know, 3D printing of
Yeah,
guns.
well, we like firearms. Now,
It's not why we're here.
right, I understand, we have laws, you know, that pertain to manufacturing and everything, and I don't necessarily agree with every law on the book that tells people what they can or can't do. But, you know, we work to certainly try to change those laws that we don't agree with. I mean, if I could have, personally, if there was no law and I could have a 3D machine in my house and make my own firearms, and, you know, they were safe, because that's important too. Safety is key. Then I probably would maybe build one or two or something.
No, so the reason I was asking is, you know, in the legislation, they were going after particular model numbers or model types, but if you now have the ability to form your own.
There's a 95% chance of police coming to your house and checking everything.
Yeah, right, but sure, absolutely. I mean, and there's